Hey, this is Heather. There's a couple things I'd like to address with you bunch of big, dumb motherfuckers. One, my husband is always taking everything I say out of context. Two, in the COVID special, when my husband was saying his pulse ox was low, it was never that low, or I would have sent him to the hospital. And three, Rick apparently cannot tell the difference between my voice and my husband's voice when my husband is the one that said, Heather smoked and got COVID and lived, you'll be just fine. I, as a nurse, would never say that. This is why I don't want to be on your fucking show, motherfuckers.
The reason why this podcast sucks and we have no fans is because Rick and damn Duper talk way too goddamn much.
My thumbs are dislocated. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody.
Again. It says bones. It says bones, not thumbs. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. I keep hearing thumbs.
You're so obsessed with putting your thumb in your asshole that you cannot think of anything else.
I didn't say anything about an asshole. Why do you go straight to a thumb and an asshole? Like, I'm just saying his thumbs are dislocated. I didn't say anything about an asshole. Hooper, who has the obsession here? I just want to know.
I do have an obsession with your asshole.
By the way, there are no bones in a butthole. Anyways, take warning. There it is. Welcome to the show, guys. Hey, Dupe, who are we not sponsored by?
Do you guys need help making Thanksgiving dinner? Do you guys need help making that big fat turkey? We got you. Mimi's canned turkeys. Just open the can, throw it in the microwave, and you're good to go. Mimi's canned turkeys.
Mimi's is back.
Mimi's.
Yeah.
They're a very diverse company.
And they're a proud sponsor of Rick's Cookout.
Almost like Great Value. Again, shout out to Great Value. Still, nothing.
Have you guys ever seen a canned turkey?
Yeah, it's disgusting. Well, I've seen the canned chickens. I've never seen a canned turkey.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a canned turkey, but have you guys, Greg, Josh, seen a canned turkey or chicken?
No.
It's disgusting. It really is. Remember the end of Ace Ventura 2 when Ace Ventura came out of the butthole of that rhino or whatever it was? That's kind of what it looks like when a canned turkey comes out of that can.
That's.
So it looks like you when you're having sex.
Oh, well, only when things during sex.
Only when we're having sex, because I like to oil up for that shit.
Just get nice and slippery.
Oh,
good time.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Well, there goes our 2 listeners that we have left,
and your son, because I'm sure by this point he's been told at this point you have to turn that off. So that's just the appropriate thing to do there.
Man.
So how was your week, dude?
It was good. I was so my wife was exposed to COVID on Monday, and so I've been living my entire week in fear. So I've been hiding under my I've been hiding under my bed. And that's pretty much all I've done is just hide under my bed because I thought I might get COVID because my wife also once had COVID. So I'm terrified of it.
Nice. That's fun that you brought that up.
No, I didn't do that. I stole it. That's Rick's week in recap. No, I put up Christmas lights this weekend. My daughter is super excited for lights, so it is a lot of fun to see her light up with the lights. It's a lot of fun. We have dinosaurs and we have like deers and stuff in the front yard, and she gets super excited to see them. So it makes Christmas a little bit more special this year.
That's awesome, man. It's always good to do that. I actually have to get my lights up, but I've been quite lazy. So I'll get there. I'll probably do it.
You got to get outside. Out of under your bed in order to do that.
Dude, I did. I went to a golf course. That's not my recap. That doesn't matter. It's not my time yet. Greg, what'd you do this week?
Well, so interesting you say that. So I just came home from work one day, and then the nurse Heather, aka my wife, just called me and left me that voicemail, dude. So evidently, like, all the medical advice that we thought we knew and understood was like totally taken out of context and was wholly inaccurate. So I will just say this again. We are not by any means of the imagination smart, nor do we have any medical knowledge whatsoever. So please do not come to this podcast to seek out medical advice, or else I will probably get more angry voicemails. So
I don't like how you lump us in with your idiocracies. Yeah. We are not smart on this podcast.
No, you are as retarded as I am, equally. This is an equal stupid podcast. I'll just put it that way.
You can't say retarded anymore, Greg.
Well, you're dumb.
Well, now you get to donate, Greg.
Yeah, you should donate. You need to donate.
Yeah, you do, because you said it several times. So
yeah.
Well, Duper tried to call me out on it, so he has to at least equal my share of donation.
No,
he'll send it, but he'll never get it.
All I'm gonna do, I mean, you continue to offend disabled people like that. I'm gonna just probably end up in a safe space. But that's
just say that I'm not disabled.
Well, I guess you got me there.
No?
I mean, maybe we need to talk to your wife about that. I mean, from the way that you translate her medical advice, I wouldn't.
I'm just saying, don't come here for medical advice. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Josh,
dude.
what'd you do? Josh, what'd you do this week? We're getting past this.
No, it's so much fun. How are you fucking up all the information that your wife gives you so poorly, Greg? How is that so possible?
Dude, you totally ruined Josh's 36 seconds to speak in an hour, and you just totally had to just be an asshole and a piece of shit and talk over him. So, Josh.
Thanks, Duper.
How was your week, Josh?
I worked. I had to hear about COVID from Rick all fucking week.
Oh my god, tell me about it.
All fucking week. We saw each other one time. I will show text messages. I will put them on the website. I want them on the site. If I knew how. But anyways, yeah, dude. Worked. Heard about Rick. That's about it.
It's interesting, Greg, that you stopped my interview process about the very interesting voicemail that we had at the beginning to discuss that, so then we could hear it out. That was.
Can we hear Rick's now? Rick, what did you do this week?
Good radio here.
Dude, I thought I had COVID for 3 days, as everybody said. As a guy that suffers. Am I going to get to speak? Can I finish?
I know Duper's just on one today. He wants it to be 60 minutes of Duper podcast.
Jesus
First of all,
Christ.
he logs in late, so he's 10 minutes late, and now he just wants to talk.
Fucking diva.
I'm a diva, bitch.
No.
Well, Brittany, can I get in here and say some words? Just curious.
Yeah, go for it, Kevin.
Thank you. So, it was a fun week. I started getting a bit of a cold on Tuesday, right after Greg, Heather via Greg, told me that I wouldn't get COVID, and it's basically a myth. So after I was told COVID's a myth, I started getting a cold on Tuesday, and I was a little nervous about it. But
my wife
it was still
did not
cool.
say that, by the way. I just want to be clear on that.
Oh, I can't wait for next week's voicemail.
To be clear, so Heather called you and she said that it was a hoax.
Well, no.
COVID?
Greg told me that Heather said it's a myth and not to stress it. And I probably could still pick up a marijuana habit. And on top of that, whatever to lower my immune system, it really doesn't matter as long as I'm getting vitamin D. That's what Greg said. Heather said. So, Heather, now that we've heard the voicemail, I understand where the information's coming from, and I apologize.
So, do you guys remember 6 months ago when, before I actually got COVID and I thought I had COVID, and you guys were so excited, and then it came out I didn't have COVID? Now I know how that feels, because Rick, separate from my family, I can't do nothing.
You know what? I gotta give.
And then I was like, I'm still gonna call him Rona Rick. And then it didn't happen.
So nobody knows that story yet. I haven't even gotten to that because
I know
getting cut off.
We got 45 minutes.
Fucking shit. So I had a cold. The next day, I'm like,
you took information from Greg, getting information from Greg from going through a stupid translator.
Welcome to Duper's podcast, everybody. God damn it. So Wednesday happens.
I think Duper's still a little drunk on that.
Oh my god!
$8,000 bottle of whiskey you got.
125.
Yeah, no, I was drinking with Governor Newsom over the weekend.
Here we go with that joke again.
Fuck that dude.
Wednesday comes around, and I find out that that weekend we'd spent some time with our social media manager and Duper for the memorial, and our social media manager
what has he done? What has he done?
He's gonna manage our social media. From
he hasn't
what
even
Greg
listened
said.
to an episode of the podcast yet.
Hey, he works for free. All right.
Yeah, but he ain't doing no work.
So here we are.
Fired if he doesn't do anything.
I don't fucking
He's never
know.
done anything.
I mean,
if
if you don't get
you're
paid,
still on the podcast, Josh.
Well, see you guys later.
Wow. Okay.
God damn, Duper's in a mood.
He is on one.
Oh, Josh,
Jesus
I love you.
Christ. Jesus.
Don't go away.
So Wednesday, anyway.
Rick, do you have any sad music you can play right now, like Josh walking away?
That is a nice beard.
There went Josh. So this is where the story changes, right? And my wife comes home and I'm like, oh, I found out Lee had a cold. I think I just got his cold. And she sits down and she's like, yeah, she knows about it. So then,
holy shit. Welcome back, dude.
So then Rachel says, well, I got some bad news. It turns out I had a 15-minute conversation with somebody without a mask on and they have COVID. We just found out today I can't go back to work. We've been exposed
after that.
So then the next 3 days waiting for test results as I'm getting sicker, we have to go get the test. The doctors are like, well, you have symptoms. And I'm like, well, I have a cold. And they're like, well, we're putting you on everything we can. That's not how this
went at all. It was like, doctor, I think I have COVID. I think I'm
so
to confirm my fears that I'm dying of COVID. The doctor.
So here's the
doctor's like, calm down. No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
Since Duper won't shut up. The backstory to that is, if everybody most of my listeners already know this, because we all know, my listeners. But most of these guys already know that I have a mental health issue with panic, and it's a thing that it's pretty easy to manage until you get something like a fucking pandemic to hit you, and then you get exposed. So I spent 3 days scared as shit. But Greg was like the best man in the world, and he checked in on me regularly, and I appreciate that.
I did that, Duper. I did that.
But I want to point out that the very first night Duper called, and he was like, "We're just gonna have a conversation, and we got to talk about this because I know you're panic, Rick, and I know that's gonna be worse for you than fucking COVID itself." Absolutely. So something that I know this has been fun, but yeah, something to think about, and people talk about that during the pandemic, but the whole mental health aspect, I got to experience it, and dude, that shit is fucking scary when you have to deal with that, right? So it was an interesting couple days, man. Just glad that we tested negative. We got the results on Saturday. Unfortunately, Rachel can't go back to work until like next week now because of so many cases at her job from those exposures that obviously happened. So that was my week. Good times.
The mental health aspect of it is really the part that scares me the most around COVID, because I think that's going to have the lingering effect from COVID.
Agreed.
I think we're going to get a vaccine, and I think for the most part by the end of next year, COVID's going to be in the rearview mirror. But it's going to be letting everybody back out, right? When the doors open back up and we can go back out, we can go back to a concert, we can go to a sports event. There's going to be so many people out there that are just terrified to even go out in public now. Mm-hmm. It's going to be, and Greg, you can relate to this. A lot of veterans that we know, they have PTSD, right? They're afraid to go in crowds because of bombs and things of that sort, right? I think we're going to see a lot of PTSD from COVID, and the social anxiety that's going to come up from it is terrifying. So yeah, I did give you, I can joke about it now and give you a hard time because I know you're in the clear and you're okay now. But that's also the reason why I was on, I wasn't texting that much, right? I'm not going to send you articles about COVID when you are terrified of dying of COVID. That's not the time to do that, right? Like that's not the time to have that discussion. So I pulled back and
but you could have still sent him the gay porn. I mean, that would have got.
that would have got my mind off it. Well, I'll tell you though, I wasn't scared of dying from COVID. Of course, obviously there's a bit of that, but I was scared that I somehow got it and I had given it to my girls who were all isolated. I couldn't talk. We talked to each other through windows, right? We weren't seeing each other. And it went like that for 72 hours. I've never isolated myself from my daughter like that, where I can't be there to protect her. And that's what was going through my head the most, is if I have this and it goes south, I'm going to be stuck in a hospital, ass up in the air on a ventilator or something. That could be the worst case scenario. And my daughter's alone and she gets it. What do I do? Those were the things that were running through my head. It was, I mean, death is a part of it, right? But you just got to accept that it's everything else that it affects that I was more worried about. It's scary. Greg, I truly, you're pretty tough for getting through it. You and Heather both. It's scary.
No, you're not. You got through the sniffles, dude. You're the bravest man I know.
After what Heather said about his oxygen,
hold on. Duper's like, well, I think with COVID, it's going to be like this, and America's going to be like this. This motherfucker hasn't even gotten a COVID test, and he's giving us motherfucking testimony. This motherfucker put a Q-tip up his nose.
I'm the original COVID testee. That should happen in March for me, bitch. I got the test and I quarantined when everything was scary.
This dumb motherfucker put a Q-tip in his nose, thinking it was.
It's not scary now. Test. It's not scary now.
It was much scary at the beginning because we didn't really know what we were dealing with, right? We didn't know the survival rate of it, right? At the beginning, we were talking about a 5% death rate, which it's nowhere near. And we knew for the most part that it was affecting older people, but we didn't know for sure, right? So there were some things that weren't as certain as they are now around COVID. So it was scary at the beginning than it is today. Now, that is from my perspective, right? Your perspective around COVID is probably a lot different than mine because you've been working at home this entire time, right? When you've been working at home and you've not been out in the public every day, your perspective on what this COVID thing is and how it affects people is totally different. My day-to-day is not different, much different from a year ago. Honestly, my day-to-day is the same. Your day-to-day is totally different. You don't go out in public. You don't need to. And because you're at home so often, when you do go out into public, it's a little bit more scary for you. And not to make you sound like a bitch, but
no. And I am not ashamed to say that it is scary. And we've had that discussion where I agree with you. It's scarier because when your life is completely flipped upside down, right? Where you were working full time, you're gone all the time, you're going to the gym, you're doing stuff that all stopped.
You weren't going to the gym.
Fuck yeah, I was going to the gym, dude. I can tell you by my gut. And dude, yeah, I need to go back to the gym. So. But you have a regular life, and when it flips upside down, you become hyper focused on what caused that, and that hyper focus obviously will make it scarier. You also have more time, like for people that have to work, like you and Greg. What you guys do, you have to no matter what, you have to have a wall up, right? You have to be able to put up a wall to just get the fuck out the door. Deal with the fact that I'm going to see a bunch of sick people potentially this whole time as cases are rising, as it gets worse, as they were, just last week, there was a person dying every minute of every day for like 4 days from it. You hear shit like that. Those crazy statistics, 220,000 cases in one day. That's nerve wracking when you think about what you guys do for a living. I mean, so you have to become kind of battle hardened from it. And you're probably fatigued too, because you haven't stopped. And I think that's where the mentality change is. Between like if you got a scare and I got a scare, because I'm like, fuck, like I haven't dealt with this one time yet because I've been careful, and you're like, dude, I have to fucking deal with it every day. I've probably been exposed to it minorly, so it might not be as bad. It's a crazy it's fucking crazy year.
Well, that's why I said too, like the biggest thing going back to my experience is exactly everything that you just said. You're like, fuck, if I have it and I'm in the hospital, like what, are my affairs in order just in case? Like what's going to happen if I get it? What happens if my wife gets it? What happens if, obviously in your case, your daughter gets it, and that's why, I still recommend people, man, get your stuff in order, get your affairs in order. Have a game plan in case you get it or get hospitalized. I mean, it's no different than planning for any other type of emergency or unexpected event. But the anxiety is probably the largest thing that I deal with on a daily basis. And and obviously I'm not going to tell you guys where I work. You guys know, but I'm not going to disclose it on the podcast. But in my workplace, in the past 2.5 weeks, I've had probably like 60 to 70 employees out on quarantine right now, either because of positive test or because they were exposed to, somebody who did. And that's a huge impact to our business, having that many people out. And you could just imagine all the phone calls, all the conversations, and then the people who didn't get quarantined, they're probably more stressed out than the people who are, because they're working and they're like, holy shit, well, was I close to this person? Was I close to that person? And yeah, all week, man, I've been dealing with that on multiple occasions. I've had multiple officers, and employees come up to me and just vent. And that's largely what I deal with on a daily basis. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely increasing. And the fear is real. So have a game plan in case it happens to you or yours.
Yeah, I have a game plan. In my house, I've bought 6 katana swords, and with my will, they're just in a fight to the death, and they get everything.
So you're gonna have your daughter and your wife fight to the death with your son
and my son.
Yeah,
and then 3 random strangers.
3 random straight. Can it be us 3?
I mean, it could be.
We're not strangers, though.
Josh, are you down? Katana sword to the fight to the death.
Sure, if it gets us off this COVID topic.
Transition us.
Yeah, because the fun part after this is the next topic after what we're transitioning to. So let's do it.
Oh, it's my turn. All right. So what are the must-haves or your favorite sides for Thanksgiving?
COVID. COVID.
My family.
I like green beans with COVID. I like COVID casserole. Turkey COVID
stuffing.
Ice cold Coronas.
Yeah. I'll even take a Corona Light.
that premier Corona.
Poor Corona. At the beginning, Corona sales dipped because of COVID.
Yeah.
So, favorite sides for Thanksgiving.
Son of a bitch.
Greg, go. We don't need Duper and Rick's opinion, just Greg.
You better keep this Boa Gump thing going.
I can't. I don't have anything. You guys took it. Cheers.
No, you had it. You had it. You actually had COVID.
Cream of COVID. Cream of COVID. That sounds good.
Candid COVID.
Candy COVID. Chocolate covered COVID. COVID mint. Mint COVID.
COVID cheesecake.
Dark meat COVID. White meat COVID.
Dude, my wife makes this bomb-ass pumpkin pie cheesecake every year, and it is the best thing I've had in my life.
I make a roasted COVID.
Yeah, shout out. There are very few cheesecakes that I only like regular cheesecake, with the exception of one of our listeners' wives, Shirley. That's Arthur's wife. Fuck you, Arthur, by the way. She makes that same pumpkin cheesecake, whatever it is, pumpkin pie cheesecake. Dude, that shit is amazing. I totally understand, Greg. That shit's great. What do you like, Josh? What's your side?
I'm done.
That's it. That's your whole podcast. That's what you.
You just wanted to ask.
I just wanted to ask, and I'm done for the podcast. I'll see you guys in 40 minutes.
So,
what's wrong with this dude? He works for free, so I mean, I guess that's what we get from him, right?
I like how Duper's the yin on this podcast, and Josh is like completely the yang. Like it's amazing. What a balance.
I love sausage.
I bet you do.
Stuffing.
Yeah.
Getting stuffed with sausage.
I thought you weren't talking anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
wow.
Did you see him? Nobody else can see the video, but he got all sassy there with the shoulders and the head nod. Like, it was cute. It was cute. Red mashed potatoes. I like red mashed potatoes. Rick, what do you got, buddy?
So there's a specific stuffing that my great grandmother used to make. It sounds ridiculous. No, yeah.
Hey, Covington for dinner tonight? Can we come over,
Mrs. Covington?
No, it's weird, dude. It's ground beef and like raisins, and it's like really dark stuffing. You look at it and you're like, that's not going to be. Olives, black olives. Like you're like, this is not going to be good. And then you take a bite, and how she spiced it and how she cooked it, best stuffing I've ever had in my life, and I ask for it every year.
Do you like in the butt stuffing or out of the butt stuffing? I mean turkey butt.
No, we know what you're talking about.
Stuck? Are you talking about? Do I stuff my turkey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you not realize what he was asking you?
No, I didn't because of the way he worded it, Duper. So
I knew what he was saying.
No, I do not stuff my turkey.
I like a little bit of both. You know,
I mean,
I like stuffed and unstuffed. You know,
it just makes this weird, like mushy fucking. It's like basically mashed potatoes made out of stuffing. Like I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it in the cavity of the turkey either.
I need the crust on my stuffing.
Yeah, I agree. Like I like to have a little bit of a crisp to it.
Yeah, that crispy to it. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes out of the cavity, it is way too mushy.
Liquid.
It's almost like a bread pudding, and I don't like the texture of it.
Yeah, you can like roll it into a ball. It's like this is not good to me. I like it to be kind of dry. You want the bread to take a little bit of the juice, but still be bread. You know what I mean? It should be breading. Yeah,
So do you guys like white turkey meat or the dark turkey meat?
Oh, well, that depends if you know how to make a turkey, right? If you know how to make a turkey, the white meat is the best, hands down. If you don't know how to cook a turkey and it's dry, then probably the darker meat is probably better, because then dry white turkey meat is terrible.
I hate that. Yeah.
Well, here's a little tip to everybody that's listening: brine your fucking turkey. And that's gonna save it.
Here's a tip for everybody cooking a turkey: don't fuck it up.
Just put in the microwave.
Boom.
Boom. My grandma, she used to make Rick's over here sharing these fantastic stories from his family. My grandma used to make the turkey like 2 days before and then put it in the refrigerator all cut up, and then we would come over and we just microwave the turkey. It was a phenomenal Thanksgiving. And the thing with her turkey was that it was the driest turkey I've ever had in my life. And so, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, I decided I have to try to make turkey, because I have to make a whole turkey, because I don't know how that turkey was so bad. And I've tried to replicate that pour of turkey cooking, and I cannot replicate that dryness of a turkey. It's almost impossible for me.
So that's one of their must have sides, then, I take it.
Dry ass white turkey meat. Yeah, I don't know how she fucked up turkey so bad, but I've made turkey multiple ways, brined, unbrained, multiple ways, and I've brined. I've never made a dry turkey yet, so knock on wood.
I am spatchcocking and smoking mine this year just to mix it up a little bit.
I've never smoked a turkey. I would be excited to try that. You doing that on the Traeger?
Yeah, I mean, I've done smoked before, but it's usually just been like a breast or like a big ass breast.
Yeah, but you're talking about like a whole turkey, right?
I'm doing the whole turkey.
We're wasting the entire Rick's Cookout segment right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Shut up. Let's move on. Fuckers. All right. So this is a fun one. Josh is going to be so upset about this.
Yeah, he might as well just put it on pause.
Gavin Newsom just enforced last week a statewide curfew from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for all businesses. He then, in LA County, all outdoor dining has been shut off.
All effective,
dining. Yeah. Well, yeah, we only had outdoor at this point in LA County. So all dining is shut off. And within 300 miles of us, starting today, the day that this episode airs on Wednesday, in Nevada.
Well, in Nevada, we don't know. So you guys went to a shutdown over here in Nevada. We don't even know what a shutdown is. We're on a pause.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out.
Oh,
you guys are pausing.
Yeah, a pause.
So explain the pause.
Don't make fun of your governor, guys.
It's not a shutdown; it's a pause. So while the rest of the country shuts down, and then while the rest of the Republicans all stay open, Nevada went on a pause. It's kind of like a break in a relationship, but not really at the same time. It's really hard to explain. It's a shutdown. All it is a fucking shutdown by a different name. It's highly irritating.
He basically took all the businesses down to a 25% capacity, but airports are still open, flights are still going, all the fucking strip hotels are still fucking open. So yeah,
Well, I think I just read.
The hotels went down to 25%.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that they were closing some hotels like from the rooms. they weren't going to rent out rooms during the week or something like that.
The
What
hotels are doing that because they can't maintain 24/7 business with 25% occupancy.
Okay. Yeah, I did read something about that. That's interesting. So all of this is happening. We know why. I think everybody has a pretty good, clear direction as to why. We were talking about that a little while ago. Cases have they've skyrocketed. I mean, in California, in our county today, we had 8,000 new cases, 50 deaths. So that's huge. That's a big, it's a huge increase. So I know Nevada, you guys are doing pretty bad too. So my question, and this is why we have this topic, instead of going out and protesting, instead of
I'm protesting right now.
The current pauses that they keep coming up with, these little like we're gonna shut down, but we never actually shut down anything. Do we have a better solution? Can someone come up with a better solution on how to fix this to get the cases down lower? Josh, you got your hand up.
Yeah, dude, get rid of Gavin Newsom.
I mean,
that's it. That's your whole solution. Is just fire that guy and then just let things play out.
Yeah, dude, the world will be such a better place.
That's it.
Not just California, the whole world.
Dusty's gonna run for president. You know that, him and Como both.
Yeah, god damn it, dude. I hope he doesn't run for president. He lost a lot of my respect when he's at the French Laundry having fucking dinner with the top two. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the top two fucking health administrators for California, and they're in that fucking asses to elbows little room, just enjoying dinner. Like, okay, cool, thanks guys. But then you know what he did? This week he quarantined his family because he was exposed to it.
I know.
Like,
my God, he's got to quarantine during Thanksgiving. That's got to be
and
so fucking tough.
This is coming from the liberal guy on the pod. I don't like Gavin Newsom. So Gavin Newsom. Yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
In New York, Como was he was talking about his family and his daughters were coming out to his house for Thanksgiving. And then he had to backtrack that in a later interview. He's like, "Oh no, because of COVID, they're staying home." Oh, bitch. You guys know with your fucking ruling class that you guys are going to have 40 fucking people at your house and you guys are going to say it's okay because you guys live in fucking 60,000 square foot mansions. So good for you. Fucking rich fucks.
One of the things too about Nevada is that, dude, there was a whole bunch of random ass fucking shit that went along with the pause, you know? But like he said, no more than 2 households of people could be in the same house.
And we got to wear a mask indoors.
So everywhere.
What if my household has like 15 people?
No, you're fine because that's your single household. But like, if I was to come, or correction, if you were to come out here,
I don't know. I lost Greg,
and then
we just lost Greg.
Greg's talking a whole bunch of words, but
he was saying something. He just got quiet.
Boredom cut him off.
Yeah. Jesus Christ!
I think I'm back now.
Why is he? He's super delayed.
Yeah, on the video to audio,
yeah.
So, Greg, can you hear us?
I hear you.
All right, so
So the whole 2 household thing. I think that what they're trying to say is that basically, if you're in one environment, right, you're in your bubble at your house, you can have another bubble over, but only one other bubble. Because you can't be mingling your bubbles. If you have 30 people that live in your one household, that's your bubble. But if you only have 2, that's your bubble too.
Nah, I think they put capacities on how many people could be at the houses too.
Well, in California, we have 10.
But here's the thing: how are they going to enforce that?
They're not.
Google. Okay, Google. How many people are in my house? They're going to have exceeded the COVID capacity. The police are going to their way.
Have Karens on patrol.
I heard this. We were having this conversation when we ran into our old friends, and somebody had said, in Arizona, they just they expect you to just have common sense, and they tell you what they'd like you to do, and we're going to do it or we don't, and we don't seem to be having a problem. Well, I mean, essentially the same thing is happening here. Because you're not going to have cops driving up and down the street looking for 20 cars at one house. That shit's not going to happen. That nobody's going to fucking enforce this shit. They're literally telling you what you should be doing. If you are not a dumbass, you'll do this to keep yourself safe one year.
Then why would you not put out a PSA about education and not make it a public mandate?
But there is a PSA.
But then why not? If it's about education and it's not about mandating and power, then why would you not do it that way?
because people still weren't doing it. Instead, they were in the streets, like that video I showed you in Long Beach, fucking protesting the fact that we have to wear masks.
They fucking should.
So,
this because what you're saying right now, I agree with. It should be a public knowledge situation, right? We should educate the public and teach them what they should do during a pandemic.
Right.
But
You're
putting
absolutely
out mandates that there's no fucking way that they can enforce is fucking idiotic.
So you put a
who's going to
mandate,
enforce this?
You put a PSA out there and you say, hey guys, you shouldn't do this because not only does it affect you, but it affects everybody in your community. Can you be common sense here and not do this, right?
Yep.
That's the PSA. Now we go 6 months down the line and it's like, well, they didn't fucking listen.
Yep. And
we kept telling them. Now what do you do? What's your next step, dude? What's the solution there? Because they're not listening now. So I'm going to say I'm going to have a mandate, which really isn't a mandate.
They're not going to listen regardless,
so,
Rick.
Not until they start, honestly, until they start enforcing it with fines or something like that. They're going to have to do something about it, which they're not going to do because they're worried about, fucking saving face at the same time.
Dude, I just want one thing. When it hits midnight, right? I want there to have the Purge song playing.
To say a pumpkin carriage.
I want
him to find my glass slipper right now. He was such a handsome man.
I'm listening to you, Greg.
This motherfucker is literally talked for 34 fucking minutes. I try to say one thing and he has to cut it. He can't help himself.
I love
I can mute him.
Hi, yes, I need Metro SWAT to 4486 Main Street. I think
Greg's
my
on the
guy
phone.
has a meth lab.
Greg's on
So
the
there
phone
you go.
right now.
You're about to get swatted. So there you go.
He just put his phone up to his ear because the listeners can't see you do that. So
I know. I
I'm
just called.
narrating.
Well, I don't want to talk because Duper's just going to cut me off. So
let me make a
topic. Let's continue to talk about COVID and Newsom and other boring shit.
My bottom line here is until you guys,
Newsom.
That's not a solution though. That's what I'm getting.
my
at.
solution. It's my solution.
Everybody
Next
can
segment.
bitch all they want. The fact is, unless someone comes up with a better solution, these are the rules. That's it.
What was your solution, Greg? At midnight, what happens? I mean, the carriage and stuff. Don't mind that part. Greg,
I wish people could see him staring at
come
Duper
on,
right now.
I really do want to hear it.
I don't have a solution. I just wanted one thing.
What is that?
And you would have heard it, but you interrupted me.
Well, what is it?
So I'll save it for next episode.
All sad as shit. I'll save it for next episode.
Because I think Duper thinks that the pause is going to impact this podcast, so he has to get all his words out right now because he thinks the podcast is going to pause. So I don't want to impact that any further.
Yeah, we are still going to record next week, even though we're all on some kind of shutdown.
Do you think that they could very well put shutdowns and restrictions around how many people can be on a Facebook page at one time?
That's because that prevents your public safety. What?
I don't know. Greg fell asleep because he's retarded.
Dude, let's just go to the next topic. I need Greg back.
Oh, dude. All right. So any fans of Rick and Morty? So nobody.
Yes,
Greg,
I am.
Josh.
Yes.
Nope.
I've only seen one episode.
So in one of the episodes, Rick makes a robot, and its entire purpose is just to pass the butter. It's sentient. It can think. It can reason. It has emotions. All of these things. But its only purpose in life is to get the butter and bring the butter over to the table where Rick is sitting at. And the robot asks what his purpose of life is, and he says, Rick tells him it's to get the butter, and the robot is kind of like, there has to be more, and Rick's like, no, that's it. That's your fucking only purpose. Deal with that shit. So this robot is now for real. Somebody made this robot for $150. So anybody who listens to this podcast and they want to buy me a Christmas gift, this is it. Okay, $150. I can get a butter robot. Rick, you gonna buy this for me, buddy?
I want to buy this for me. Just saying, I'm hoping my wife actually listens to this pod for the first time, and
she won't.
God, Josh, please tell her this is what I want for Christmas. I need the butter.
I legit think I would prefer this over a PlayStation 5 right now.
I would take it over a PlayStation 5 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 has no games.
It's. Are you guys seeing how many modes there are? There's a passing mode, so the robot will just wait and listen for you to respond to the phrase "pass the butter." And it'll react by passing its butter stick to the user who spoke. That's amazing. It actually does pass butter.
So
No,
Greg,
an
how was
app.
your day?
Nobody gives a shit. Josh and Greg are just 100% not enthusiastic about this.
They got mad about the COVID
I've
talk.
noticed a trend on this show the past few weeks, though, is that you guys are like talking a lot about AI and robots. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the trend here, but it's just something I've noticed.
Is that good or
there's
bad?
nothing wrong with.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's a trend. You know, like if it was Twitter, it'd be trending.
Okay. I mean, AI and robots are interesting. I think you kind of the reason why we often bring this into it because
$150 for
Man Crush
a
with
novel.
Elon.
Well, I don't know. I've probably spent more on novelty items, but
I have a fucking BB-8, the fucking one that they came out with when the Star Wars movie came out, and it was like the fucking hot Christmas gift that year. I have a BB-8 that my wife played with it once.
Yeah, but you didn't get that because you wanted to play with it. You got it because it was a competition and you're competitive as all hell.
Possibly, but my wife wanted it, so I got it for her Christmas. But this is kind of like that. Yeah, I know I would. That's bullshit. No, a fucking robot that can get me buttered, that shit will be on the table all the fucking time. The only thing that's going to do is encourage me to buy more rolls. That's it. So I might put on some extra pounds.
So what happens when the butter melts? Like, I mean, how do you clean it?
Well, it sits on a chilled dish. Have you not ever served a stick of butter?
Yeah, but Rick, you don't clean up anything in your house. So eventually the butter would fucking melt and there'd be flies.
Greg, I'm married. It's okay. Oh, shit. I hope she doesn't listen to this now. Josh, you're just going to have to tell her. I'm not going to have her listen.
I'm going to tell her to listen because now there's
no
idea she needs to hear.
Yeah, how far are we into this episode?
Tell her
41 minutes.
All right.
I'm going to tell her she needs to listen to like 50 minutes.
Fuck, it was too good of a joke to pass up.
I marked the time in here just to send Rachel updates on the podcast.
You know, Rick, that my wife listens to it every week, and she's best friends with your wife, so she'll find out by Thursday.
We got like 100 things to talk about. Let's go. Next.
Jesus,
didn't you actually go to like a French cooking school and then you ended up making pizza?
French culinary school. All right, everybody, welcome to Rick's Cookout, the segment where I'm going to go ahead and take some cooking culinary questions and try and figure out what I can do to help these people. Go ahead. Who wants to throw out the first culinary-related question?
So, is it...
What? Is that the whole thing?
I don't know. I guess
we never edited that. I guess we gotta work on that intro.
That's fantastic.
I was because I'm like, Duper's talking, but I don't see his lips moving. So.
I was like, wait a second. I didn't ask that question.
I just went with it.
Rick, I was like, all right.
Eye conversation really fucking skyrocketed very quickly. So the podcast just kind of runs itself now. Rick, how far up do you have to put your arm up the cavity of the turkey to get that stuffing in there really good?
Balls deep.
Whoa. So you have to put your balls in the turkey to get the stuffing in there properly?
Oh, yeah, balls deep.
So, but I don't understand how that's a measurement for cooking.
Think about it.
I'm thinking about it, and that's disgusting.
At least it's a smooth 4 inches, dude. That's all I'm saying.
So which is the best gravy to dip your balls in if you wanted to get the best taste of the gravy?
Well, according to our podcast from 2 episodes ago, if anybody listened, you have taste buds in your ball sack. So I would go with anything that has the umami flavor, right? Which is that soy sauce. So you're going to want a gravy that's a little saltier. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that turkey gravy.
Okay. Obviously, I mean, you got to watch the temperature on it, though, right? I mean, you don't want to put hot gravy there, or does that make a difference?
I mean, if you're into that kind of kink, I guess.
We can't hear you, Josh.
Josh, are you going?
I'm sure he had a really good question too.
Yeah. He muted or something. Dude, go ahead.
Dude, I don't really have any more questions. I think it's at the beginning.
So
and that was Rick's Cookout.
What's the best type of cocktail to have for Thanksgiving?
The best cocktail for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Meat.
That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
It is. Well, Josh's mic isn't working, so we're just gonna. Do you want to let's end that skit?
All right.
Let's just move on to the next thing. He'll get in here eventually. Duper.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's coming out Christmas Day. It's coming out simultaneously in theaters and then also streaming. I think that there's a good chance it doesn't come out in theaters because they might all be on extended pauses. So it's possible, but I think it's a pretty good idea to recuperate some of the losses that they're going to lose at the theaters with these movies. To release it both ways. Rick, which way are you going to go see it?
I'm going to watch it on HBO Max because it's still, the only way we can do it in this area. Now, I will say what I hope the theaters consider doing, at least for some of these big blockbusters are kind of badass. I do hope that they consider re-releasing these in like a year, because I will totally pay to go see like Tenet. I want to see Tenet in a real IMAX screen. I want to see Wonder Woman on IMAX. I'll pay to go see these in a year too. I hope they understand. There's going to be a lot of people that'll be like, fuck yeah, release it in the theaters. I need my popcorn. I need the giant screen, and I need all that good sound. So I'm totally cool with that. But yeah, I'm watching it on HBO first. Christmas Day, baby.
Greg, what do you got, buddy?
I can't remember the trailer for this movie. The only thing I can remember is there was a lasso around lightning. And I don't know if that's enough to get me to buy HBO Max or whatever it is.
Oh man, that's interesting.
And I'm like, well, how does one lasso lightning? Because it's not like lightning actually stays around. I mean, it's lightning. So, I mean, it's not like Spider-Man where you could web building to building to building.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? That just has me intrigued.
Maybe the movie explains it.
Oh, there we go, Josh. Welcome back, buddy.
Josh.
Hey.
What do you think about lightning?
Josh? Well, hang on. I got a question. Josh, do you have any stupid cookout questions before, since we can just jump right back into that?
No,
I'm done.
Not that now.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Big gulps, huh?
Thoughts on Wonder Woman?
Giggity. No, I'm actually waiting for it to come out on Christmas. I'm pretty excited.
That was an actually really intelligent thing that Greg said, despite what his wife said about his mental capabilities.
Our mental capabilities.
With you.
It's ours. Okay.
But the fact that the advertising around these movies has dwindled quite a bit. There is not a lot of marketing, and
yeah.
I wonder if I definitely don't think that excitement's built for these movies the longer that they've been shelved. I think is actually losing momentum. So I am curious as to how these movies are going to do.
Good example, Black Widow. I was hyped after the first trailer. I don't remember that first trailer anymore.
I don't remember
I don't really care when it comes out now.
Black Widow was, I think Black Widow was going to destroy Captain Marvel in the theaters. And now I think it does maybe half.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's done. That sucks. It really does.
Well, it does suck.
All right, dude, you got the next one?
Yeah, so Harry Styles dressed like a woman in dresses in the Vogue magazine. He got some pushback from some right-wing sources. Is it demasculating that wear a dress today, Greg?
Well, so I mean, as long as you have a pretty cool NASA SpaceX t-shirt to go along with it, I'm sure that's fine. Especially since it's been to Vegas twice and California, God knows how many times. And also, didn't it come from Texas, Rick? So
what the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about dresses.
Cool
You're talking about...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This cool shirt
Josh,
that you wear with the dress.
I don't judge on it. If you want to wear a dress, cool, go for it. Not bugging.
I remember when this was a big thing back in the 90s when Dennis Rodman wore the wedding dress. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like an event. It was like, holy shit, he's doing that. And it's kind of funny to me that 30 years later, it kind of still is more an event than I think it should be, right?
But who's making it an event? That's my question. Because you hear from 75% of this pod at least, and we haven't heard your opinion yet, but like I said, Greg Josh and I, we don't give a shit. Like, it's cool.
No,
Wear a dress.
You already heard my opinion.
What's your opinion? I didn't hear it.
You're too busy. But I'm surprised that it's still a topic 30 years later.
Okay, so yeah, 100% of this podcast is all on the same page. Like, dude, move on.
But at the same time, do you think a woman wants to date a guy that wears a dress?
She does.
I mean, that's up to her. Yeah, fuck it.
How do you know if he wants to date a woman?
It's true too.
Well, I'm not saying Harry Styles specifically, but I'm talking about just in general masculine roles, would your wife, let's personalize it, Rick. If you went home and then you asked Rachel to put on one of her dresses, do you think she would look down on you?
If I asked her to put on a dress?
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to model her dress and put on some lotion.
If I put her dress on for her.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was what we're into, whose business is it? Really, that's the bottom line.
That's true.
So, I mean, the second thing to that is, honestly, we are a different society than we have been in the last 40 years that we've grown up. This really shouldn't be an issue anymore. That's what I'm confused about. Where is the issue coming from? Because to be honest, that's nobody's business but their own, and let them be who they are. It's okay.
Well, I mean, I agree with that on a personal level at your home, but then when Harry Styles does it just for publicity on a magazine, that's not necessarily just in your private life anymore. Do you think
he only did it for publicity, or did he do it because he wanted to do it?
Both.
I think he did it for publicity. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I think so too. I don't think he's.
Obviously you're in Vogue, so it is for publicity. But I'm saying, did he make that decision? Because there is actually and trust me, I did not know this about Harry Styles until you put the topic up, and I'm like, I don't fucking know who that man is. And then Rachel explained.
I didn't know who he is either.
So, Harry Styles for the last few years has been very ambiguous about his sexuality and how he relates to the world. So, I mean, this very much could just be who Harry Styles is, and that's okay. And maybe this is just him being like, hey, man, because everybody knows me, I'm world famous to all these young people. This is also another part of me. And he went public with it, used the publicity for that. I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't look at it as a negative. Let him do it. Plus, he was wasn't he the first guy to be on a Vogue cover or do a Vogue spread
I have no idea.
Or some shit like that?
I have to look in my back catalog of Vogue covers.
But I mean, that it's just something. I mean, to each their own. Honestly, that's. I really wish this world would be more like that, be more accepting of whatever people decide they want to be.
We're so inclusive here. Let's have an inclusivity hug. All right, that's enough of that. Sports. Klay Thompson is out. Achilles. Is this the same Achilles or is it a different Achilles from the first one, Rick? Do you know?
He didn't tear his Achilles the first time. He blew out his knee.
Oh, okay. So Kobe couldn't come back from Achilles. Nobody comes back from an Achilles.
Hold on now. Kobe motherfucking Bryant did come back from an Achilles.
No, he didn't.
Kobe Bryant scored 60 points in his last game ever.
A game.
Because he didn't have to turn it on every game at that point. He knew he was at the end of his career.
He put up 160 shots in that game.
How many points did Kobe average the season after his Achilles?
No, 13 or 14. I'll look it up.
You sure about that?
Yeah, it was really sad.
I need a stat.
Because Kobe really fell off after that. And it was maybe one of the saddest things I've seen in sports. And he didn't, I think he only played 24 to 30 games.
I wouldn't call that. First of all, I would not call that in any way sad. The man came back from an Achilles injury.
Whenever Kobe was playing, you expected him to play for a championship. But we are getting way off topic. Klay Thompson, is he the year after 13.8 points? I'm right on point. And he played 6 games, my bad. And then the year after that, he played 35 games.
Yeah.
But Klay Thompson, is his career over?
Well, so how long did it take them to remove the arrow? You had to think about that one.
I mean,
no, I don't. It's just a really bad joke.
We got it.
Yeah. I saw Troy. anytime Brad Pitt's in a, Speedo, I'm watching.
Hector! That's part of the movie.
Any chance that he recuperates from this? Anybody? Or is it over?
You know what? No, fuck that. I want to go back and argue right now. 2013-14 is he played 6 games. He averaged 13.8.
Yeah, that's the year after his Achilles. That's the year after his Achilles.
Yeah, he only played 6 games, but that doesn't count because he only played 6 games. Yeah. He actually came back. He made his comeback season, which he only played 35 because he was older, averaged 22.3 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than Jordan at that same age, by the way.
I'd like look at his shooting percentage.
I'm looking it up right now. Shooting field goal percentage
37%.
37%. That's okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's ideal for efficiency. Josh?
Oh no, sorry. Yep.
Oh, you don't give a fuck. Klay Thompson, is he coming back? Is this at the end of the Splash Bros?
He's got another knee. He's good.
It's sad, man.
Yes, no.
It's sad. He's a lot younger than most of these Achilles injuries have been. We have yet to see what happened with Durant. That I would have used Durant as the barometer, so we'll know this year how it's going to go for him, because they're similar in age, right?
Yeah, and I mean, so the tough thing about Klay is that Klay has the opportunity to come back, but I don't think ever at the capacity he was. He will never be a 3-and-D guy again. The defensive moves that you need to make for those pivots on that Achilles won't be there. But he is such a good shooter. He could be a spot-up shooter, right? He could be that guy you just put over in the corner and he just nails that shot all day. But he's never going to be 3-and-D.
Did you see Durant, how he's been training? Remember, coming back from an Achilles too. And Durant, he did not have the moves that Klay had, but he's still quick as shit. I mean, like this tarantula, he's bad. But his shifts, his movement, his lateral movement, it didn't diminish too much.
We'll
so
see.
I mean, modern science, you never know, man.
2 years
especially
off,
with them being young.
Time.
2 years is crazy. I'm more worried about the time off than I am about the injury, because that's a long time to be away from the game, man.
I know that's what ruined your game.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Never came back to it.
So there's a report out there that says the Houston Rockets, Westbrook, Harden, they want out because their owner's a Republican. Can they ever rebuild a team if that's true? Or does he have to sell the team? Because if that's true and players won't play for him because of his political beliefs, they'll never be competitive again.
Bullshit.
That's a full crock of shit. First of all, there's no way you're going to tell me that a bunch of millionaires, the players, are not down with conservative fundamentalism, because they want their money more than they want to be.
That's not what the poll said during the summer.
Where did the story come from, Duper?
The internet.
I guess it's true.
True.
Okay.
Tell me one millionaire that's like, I'd rather pay more taxes, sir. Like, that's just not true. These guys can say whatever the fuck they want, out loud to save their image.
Something different.
Yeah, of course. Behind closed doors, these fucking guys are still businessmen, man. They're making money that they don't want to pay any more taxes. I mean, think about the business decisions when people sign in LA versus going to San Antonio and shit like that, where you're like, okay, why did they sign with Dallas instead of going to LA? And it's like, well, there's no fucking tax. The taxes are different. They talked about that with LeBron going to LA over Miami, and he wound up going to Miami, right? And they were like, well, there was no fucking state taxes, and his tax, he would have made more money not paying as many taxes playing in Florida.
Yeah.
That's all these guys give a shit about is their money, honestly. I mean, we all love them for their play. We love to watch and admire the sports and the sportsmen that they are. But bottom line is, dude, I mean, you're a fucking millionaire. You're not going to hate a Republican. Like, I just can't see that. That's hard for me to fathom. But I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm out.
All right. So you think that they can rebuild? Rick, Lakers overhaul.
Lakers overhaul. Yeah. Sorry. We're recording on a Monday night, guys. I apologize. And the Rams just took it. Josh, yeah. Horns up. Whose house? So the Lakers actually overhauled not their whole roster, but a big chunk of their roster. Really cool moves. I'm actually pretty enthusiastic about most of the moves they made. We lost Danny Green. We lost fucking Avery Bradley, Rajon Rondo. We lost both our centers. We didn't really lose McGee. We traded McGee. But we came back with, instead of a $15 million Danny Green contract, we got a Wesley Matthews contract for $3 million, who's as good or better. We wound up picking up the second Gasol brother now, so we might be able to get a ring with both Gasols. Not only that, we got the 6th man of the year runner up and the 6th man of the year from last year. Both of them signed with us, and one was a trade again, but we got Schroeder and we got Montrezl Harrell from the Clippers. It's a big overhaul.
Don't forget you got Kurt Rambis too.
Kurt Rambis is around.
No,
dude. Just speaking of that, I was actually going to bring that up. I don't know if anybody saw what Dwight Howard sent out after he went.
He said he signed with the Lakers and then he backtracked it, right?
Well, yeah, but then he sent a very heartfelt tweet out and a statement saying, "Hey, man, thank you, LA." Like, he said nothing but good things. But the first person that the first people that he thanked was the Rambis family, and it was amazing. Like, I was like, holy shit, he called out Kurt Rambis right out the bat. Like, we're all on the same page here. So, congrats, Lakers. I'm really excited for this year. huge overhaul.
You think they got
after
better?
a championship?
You think they got better, huh?
I think they got better, with the exception. I don't know about Marc Gasol yet. He's lost a step. He's a little older.
He's a backup coming off the bench on that team.
Yeah, but with our backup coming off the bench on that team was Dwight Howard last year. So there's a big difference.
Yeah, but there are big question marks around Dwight Howard coming into the season too. And I want to say that's a step down. Marc Gasol was a starting center last year.
Yeah, but he can't. I mean, the good thing about Marc Gasol is that he could spread the floor with his three. Right? We didn't have a center that could shoot a three for shit. Now we have Montrez and we have Marc Gasol. So just spreading the floor is going to be absurd. Huh?
You think they're done?
Oh, we're running it back.
Is there still a Kuzma trade on the horizon?
Hell no. They shouldn't get rid of Kuzma.
No.
I hate the hatred around Kuzma. He's a young guy. He's developed and gotten better every single year. A lot of players shit the bed in the bubble last year, but you don't hear everybody talking about trading them. Keep Kuzma. He is honestly he's going to be a future Laker. So let him stick around.
They're big heavy though, right? They're too big right now. For a league that's going small ball, the only small ball player you have is Schroeder.
No. Because you have to look at how Montrezl Harrell plays. You have
he's
to
a center.
Schroeder. You're right.
He's a center.
He is a center, but he's not a big center. First of all, he's undersized, and
but he's still not. We don't have any guards.
Physical. We do have guards. We just signed KCP for 3 years. Finally, paid him back.
Is he allowed?
Without his 3-and-D, we would not have won a championship.
No, KCP's solid.
KCP was very important to our team. We still have Caruso, who again is still developing and was amazing last year. We've got guards. But we still have LeBron at that point, right?
If you can find a trade for Kuzma for an all-star 2 guard, you take it?
No. Because what we're holding out for, and this is the reason why AD still hasn't signed, and hopefully by Wednesday this is still true. I think it is because he's waiting until after Thanksgiving. AD, the rumor is that he's waiting for Giannis to make his decision if he's going to take the Supermax with the Bucks or if he's going to go into free agency next year. That's going to determine how we're going to approach free agency next year. If AD is going to take a 1-and-1 so that his contract and LeBron's contract both fall off next season, so that they can go after Giannis and then build like a super team. They got all this shit. They're working out a bunch of shit, but no, I would not go. And give me the star. Name the guard, the star 2 guard.
I don't know.
I can't think of one that would fit.
It would have to be somebody who could stretch the floor. Because that's maybe the thing that they're lacking right now.
I think we actually are stretching now. Like we weren't stretching before. Look at the team again. We are going to stretch hard. I think we're going to hurt more down. I think we're going to hurt when we're playing like Denver against Jokic. Like there's nobody to stop Joker. There's going to be teams where
Harrell was the guy to stop.
We'll see.
Harrell was the guy to stop Joker.
I would like to see Harrell do it, but like Dwight just manhandled them. So
yeah, but Harrell was actually a better defensive player than Dwight, hands down.
I actually think he is too, just because he's younger and he's a little more athletic. We'll see.
You had a football question?
I do. Here's my question, and I actually put it very vague, and this is because I was watching football when you asked, "Hey, do you got anything to talk about this week?" And I was kind of irritated, so I just asked this: is there anybody that could stop Kansas City this year?
Greg,
is there anybody?
Yeah, the Raiders did in week 5. And even though they lost yesterday, they did it. They only lost by 4 points.
What about Pittsburgh?
Fuck
but
Kansas
did they stop
City.
them yesterday, Greg? Did they stop them yesterday?
Fuck Kansas City.
With 27 seconds left, did they stop them?
Since we're the only team in the NFL that actually beat them this season, I think we did a pretty damn good job. And yes,
you guys actually did. I'm really impressed with the Raiders. You guys you're hitting them in the mouth every time you play them. It's pretty interesting.
You had anxiety all week over fucking COVID. I had anxiety for over 3.5 hours watching that fucking football game, dude.
The pain
was going nuts.
Yes.
You know?
Rick's pain is obviously fake compared to what Greg experienced.
Nah, dude, you had no idea.
You're right.
Yeah.
My panic disorder had nothing on Greg dealing with a football game on Sunday night.
Dude, and then I had to try to go to sleep right afterwards so I can be up at like 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, that didn't happen. Fucking emotions. But dude, that was a fucking hell of a game, man. But goddamn, man, Kelsey, wide the fuck open. Killed me, dude. Killed me, man.
Jesus.
Josh?
What about Pittsburgh? You think Pittsburgh can stop them?
That's my answer too. That's my big question, right? You have an undefeated team in the NFL, 10-0. Why are you saying? Because that's when you asked me this question, Rick. Can anyone stop KC? Why is Pittsburgh not in that conversation? Why?
So I
Why
was
is
waiting.
the
I was
undefeated
waiting
team
for
not
somebody that's actually why I asked it, because I was waiting for somebody to say something about Pittsburgh. I've been watching Pittsburgh games. I think they're overrated.
overrated for an undefeated team?
Yeah, I think they're a very overrated.
They're plus team. Minus. Their points for points against is at 100, plus 124. Kansas City is at plus 107.
Yeah, they're very overrated to me.
They're overrated. They have the best plus difference in the point difference in the NFL.
They are not winning a Super Bowl this year.
174. They have the best defense in the NFL. Well, second best defense to your LA Rams.
Yep.
Well, in points scored against. But then their offense is killing it at 298.
They're not winning a Super Bowl this year. I'm just telling you, man. They are not a Super Bowl team.
They were my pick earlier.
They're on a great run, but look at their schedule. Yeah. Look who have they beaten? There's something to it. Kansas City has actually had a pretty rough go of it on some of the teams they played. So I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I mean, and Mahomes, I mean, they're a very dominant team, and I really want it to be my Rams, especially after them beating the Buccaneers this week. Like, come on, man. Like, it should be my Rams. They're so
come on, man.
But yeah, that's it. I don't know.
I feel like the NFC is the stronger division this year, conference, right? In the AFC, you definitely have Kansas City and Pittsburgh, and despite what Rick says about Pittsburgh. Those are your two, hands down, those are the two teams that should win the AFC. In the NFC, I mean, outside of the NFC East, everybody is good. I mean, you got Green Bay, you got the Saints, you got the Bucks, you got the Seahawks, the Rams, and then if you want to, you can throw the Cardinals in there. There's a lot of good teams out there in the NFC. I think it's deeper in the NFC.
Let's not forget the Bears. Let's not forget. I mean, like there's
Bears.
quality. There are quality teams in the NFC this year. It's pretty interesting. Now the Bears would be better if they had a quarterback, but that's a thing. So this week we chose not to do a fuck that motherfucker. Normally that's our time to get angry, but we thought, hey, it's Thanksgiving. Here's the question, guys. What are we thankful for this year? I like the silence.
I'm thankful for family and friends. It's by far the thing that holds us together and makes life worth living. So I'm very thankful for my children. First off, every day that I get to see them, they make my life a little bit better, and I learn something from them. And then I'm thankful for this podcast, man. This podcast has really brought the four of us back together. I know Josh and Rick were hanging out every day, but the four of us have not talked this often and this regularly in over a decade. So it's been really special having this podcast and getting to talk to my friends again. You guys are my family.
Thanks for stealing some shit there. But no, the podcast I was actually going to say was one of my big things. Overall, I was going to say that it's a fucked up, twisted thing to say, but I'm thankful that something like a pandemic, not the pandemic itself, but I'm thankful that there was something that had us all stop and pause, right? That's the word, the key word for you guys in Nevada.
Pause.
We had to pause for a moment this year in our lives. Everybody did, this whole world. And it gave us a chance to reflect and figure out what we truly appreciate and what really matters. That's what I'm thankful for, that I got that clarity this year. I'm thankful that I had you guys around. I'm thankful for everybody that supported me this last week, because that was fucking crazy. And really just thankful for my family. I love them a lot. Oh, also, thank you, golf, for existing. I didn't know that shit existed before June, and it's pretty awesome. What do you got, Josh?
I'm thankful for when I get to talk on this podcast.
So am I, Josh. So am I.
Thankful for you fuckers. Duper, not as much as Greg, but you know.
Ouch.
You're being mean. You're being mean.
What's up with the hate?
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, Yep, grateful just family and friends, and we get to share all this with, and people enjoy hearing our voices. All 5-6 listeners. I'm grateful still working during this fucking time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Greg, you got any parting words? We're just gonna skip you. That's why I was asking.
Can you hear me now or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we
buddy.
can hear you.
Fuck, man. I'll be thankful when we get off Zencaster. Have a fucking that shit.
We should try a different platform.
Dude, ridiculous.
We're going to.
So I'm gonna go down a different route. Just say fuck you guys, because I've already given you guys thanks like multiple times throughout the year, and I think saying it anymore will make me a pansy.
Whatever,
so
Greg.
Fuck you
Whatever,
guys.
Greg.
You guys know I love you. But I'm not saying that here.
That's for you.
It's been a crazy year. And obviously I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends. But overall, man, I am fucking thankful for my fucking wife, dude. Heather McIntyre, you are my fucking rock. I couldn't have made it this year, let alone the past 10 years, without you by my side. You put up with my shenanigans. You allow me to do fucking stupid shit like this podcast every week. It's been a crazy year, but we fucking got through it. I am definitely looking forward to 10 more years. So yeah, I just wanted to, and nobody else's wife has done a skit for this fucking podcast yet. So I'm thankful for my wife to do a fucking intro for it. I love you with all my heart and soul, Heather McIntyre. And yeah, that's it, man. That's what I'm thankful for.
Well, none of our words have given our listeners poor information about health either. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I was actually going to say, Heather, thanks for shots fired. I'm grateful that you're. I'm grateful that you told me.
Duper's now off the Christmas list. So that's all I'm fucking saying. Holy shit, dude. I don't feel bad for me. I feel bad for you, man.
I do too, man, because I love your wife, man. She's awesome. So I'm sorry.
You're starting to sound like Rick, Duper.
That was fucking
walking down on women, Rick.
That's how you know they've been talking too damn much when he starts talking like Rick.
Son of
Rick,
a
what do you
bitch.
think? Did you
All right,
yet, Rick?
so thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did.
I'm thankful for
thanks,
you,
sweetheart.
Josh.
Are we done?
More than anything. Yeah. What's your parting words, Josh? Yes, that's it.
He ends it with a question. Are we
Everybody
done?
enjoy their Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Don't fucking burn your house down by trying to deep fry turkey in the garage or something stupid. And be good people.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe. Make sure you. I make jokes about COVID. It is funny to me at times, but it's also very serious. So take it serious. Don't put grandparents at risk, right? And you were asking about a better solution for COVID earlier in the show. I think targeted and smart education is the way to battle COVID. And we know that if you're over 70 years old, then you're at a much higher risk to die from COVID. And we also know if you're under 70, it's hit and miss as to how bad your symptoms are. As we did learn from Greg's wife, his symptoms were dramatically exaggerated during the podcast. He apparently just had a runny nose the entire time. But some people out there actually do. They do get real.
He just keeps poking that bear, man. He can't help himself.
But happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe and think about grandma. I don't know.
Greg, just go to your parting word. This is your chance. What's your parting words, buddy?
No, so I always take the high road. I don't stoop to
bullshit.
on a Thanksgiving based episode. I'm just, thankful I'm here. Duper's been such a great friend. But my parting words, yeah, man. So everybody have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Obviously politics are trying to fucking keep us away from celebrating something, one of the probably most needed holidays of the year. is to safely get together with your fucking family and your friends and have Thanksgiving. Duper, you're invited, by the way. So even though you're an asshole, I would probably stay away from my wife if you come over, though. But you're still invited to Thanksgiving if you guys want to come over. But yeah, just be safe out there, man. And obviously the day afterwards is Black Friday, so I know a lot of you guys are gonna be out there shopping. Just be fucking safe. All right, I know Black Friday, a lot of it is online this year, but there's still gonna be brick and mortar stores doing things. And the last note I want to make is, like, if you're that fucking douchebag who takes a fucking shopping cart but yet doesn't fucking return it to the shopping cart return area, fuck you. You're an asshole, okay? So if you're out Black Friday shopping physically, return your fucking shopping cart back to the shopping cart return area. And don't cook bacon naked.
Do you remember when we said we weren't going to do an FTMF this week?
No, that's my outro. Because it ties in with Black Friday, Okay. So there you go.
Good. All right.
Rick,
so,
you're one of those assholes. I can see you not returning the fucking shopping cart.
He just pushes it into a car.
Dude, what are you talking about? I do it every fucking time.
He's fat and he's lazy, and he doesn't give a shit about his own car, so why would he care about anybody else's car?
I do give a shit about mine.
He would probably push his cart into somebody else's car and then fucking get in his car and leave. Actually, he would leave the cart, so he would unload the groceries from the cart into his trunk, not even move the cart, put his car in the reverse, push the basket with the momentum of his vehicle into the car behind them.
I've seen him do it. Asshole. Your number one fan, Preston, actually said that the podcasts run a little long when Duper rants. So
yeah, but Preston probably fucking likes that shit because he sucks Duper's dick. So
oh my god! Oh, wow.
Duper could do no
Preston,
wrong with that guy.
We do not condone of anything Greg just said.
Can you just press?
We just
press the button, Rick. We're done.
What? Oh, now I'm the bad
press
guy.
The button, Rick.
I literally
You
just
guys
said
have been assholes all fucking show. I say one thing an hour and 17 minutes into it.
You don't chastise the audience.
That's it.
What is this?
Nobody
this
listens this long.
You chastise Arthur.
He does.
Dude,
yeah, you know what?
The time Preston
Arthur.
listens to this, it's going to be 8 months from
all
now.
right,
and I'm going to be like, I said that?
We were having inclusivity hugs, and now...
God damn it, Rick, end it.
I'm trying to get my fucking bit out. God damn. It's been 27 days since the fucking Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series and vindicated everything in this world.
Isn't it ironic?
I really think so.
And look at that. Yeah, seriously, guys, there is a pandemic. We all want to see each other's family. This might be the year you have to Zoom it with your grandmas. If you are together, yeah, just be smart. Make sure it's ventilated in the room. Don't get too close to each other. Try to do what you got to do, but I mean, don't be stupid. That's the bottom line. Don't be stupid and protect yourselves. That's the only thing we can do right now. Stay safe. Try to stay healthy. Keep your immunity levels up. Get some sunlight, man. Other than that, thank you all. That's who I'm thankful for. Everybody that's fucking listened to the end of every one of these shows. Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, shit. There goes the mic.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. You fucking dick, dude.
Let's try and get one more out.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Rub it out, buddy. Just rub it out.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the show today. Please go to takewarningpod.com where you can explore additional content on the podcast, as well as find the links to the podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. Also, please get on social media. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Take Warning. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you like about the show, what your thoughts are on the show, and what you would like to see on a future podcast.
Here's the thing that I got on my mind, how the world's making people go blind. Solitary, ordinary, don't sit well with my gut. It's so strange, I'm not holding my tongue.